Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. May look a little different, baby face mode engaged. I just got back from vacation and I was like, you know what? We're just gonna shave it. But anyways, here we are today with the gray Type S. So today we're gonna be doing something pretty cool. I have some parts here, some you may recognize. Right here is Type S, Integra Type S. These go in the door sills, right? This is the company here that makes them, Dc5 Designz. Super cool dude. He reached out to me and he was like, yo, I got a couple products. You'd be interested in making a video on the install, and we ended up working something out. So I'm gonna be installing those today. They are a direct replacement for the OEM one here. So I haven't yet to actually do it, obviously, because it's still on the car. So today we're going to be doing this together, figuring out how to install these. And also, secondly, you may have saw this bag that's sitting right here. Ta-da! So we're also going to be changing out this steering wheel here. This one is actually in pretty decent shape. Like if you look over it, there's just a little bit here. This is coming apart here a little bit and here, but overall, like the airbag's really clean. It's in good shape. So I got a Type R Momo steering wheel for this car for a pretty decent deal. So we're gonna be installing that today, and it should come out really nice because I plan on doing all the red Honda badges on the car. So we're gonna be getting rid of all the Acura badges and then see what else I can conjure up to do with this car. Anyway, it is my daily, so I'm not trying to go too crazy with it, but you never know. Let's get this steering wheel unwrapped quick. I'll show you guys how it looks. It's literally in really good shape. I think there's like just a small like little scratch on the emblem there that I could buff out. You guys see it? So that'll buff out. Other than that, the wheel is in like really good shape. There's no real scratches on it. Overall, I thought it was in really good shape. So let me get this unpackaged, I'll show you it. All right, so here she is in all of her glory. Momo Type R steering wheel with the red stitching. It's a little faded, but it's there. You can see here the red tufts sticking out. I'm gonna trim those back just a little so they're not so long, but red Momo Type R steering wheel, DC5. We're gonna be throwing this bad layer on there. The only imperfection is like the little scrape right there and the scratch in the emblem, but the scratch is like a surface scratch, so it'll just buff right out. Other than that, it's in really good shape. Hoping the install goes pretty well. There's this little piece here, looks like somebody's thumb was just sitting there for a long time. But other than that, steering wheel is really good shape for being OEM Honda Type R. And on top of that, for what I paid for it, I can't really complain. So got a really good deal. My boy at Paradise Racing hooked me up. You may have seen him before at H-Day. He's got a gray, silver gray hood exit K24 RSX Type S, my boy Alberto. So he hooked me up at this local store they found the wheel for me. And then the other part I'm installing, I showed you guys, the Dc5 Designz on Instagram. I'll put his link in the bio. He sent me these Integra Type S door sill plates, and he also sent me a front grill badge with the big orange Type S logo. And some of you may know those are discontinued, so I had to pay a pretty penny for it, but he was nice enough to let it go. He had a spare one, so your boy's gonna be putting that on the front bumper when I get a chance. But today I just wanted to handle the interior stuff. We're gonna be doing the steering wheel and then the door sill little plates. So this is what's going to be changing out right here, and this is the replacement for it. Comes with a little packet for the instructions here, which I'll show you guys. It's all very intuitive, pretty easy to go through. Right, step one right here: remove the old door sill plates. Use a heat gun blow dryer to heat up the adhesive, and then pull up the corner and remove it. So it comes with a prep pad, because right here it says prep and clean area to remove any adhesive that may be left behind. Use a plastic razor and blah blah blah. Alcohol comes with it. Then after that, you're going to remove the back of the 3M tape on the back of the pad and then put it in the place here. And then let's see here, Yeah, pretty much simple install. You know, I'm gonna go get a heat gun, hook it up, and then you're gonna just pry up the edge of this. The car is pretty hot. It's been sitting out in the sun, but not hot enough. So we're gonna use a pry bar, or not pry bar. We're gonna use a heat gun and then like a little flathead or something to pry this up out of the way, because you don't want to I want to save those. I don't know why. I just like collecting RSX things, or things that say RSX or DC5 or Type R. I just have a problem with collecting and hoarding, I guess. So we're gonna be taking those out. Let me get the heat gun, get that going. I'll show you the removal process. Clean it up, simple, super easy. Put the new one in. And then once those are done, we're gonna get to the Type R steering wheel install. Yeah, let's get right into it. All right, so we're gonna start off with just heating this little thing up here. If you want to take it off the car, I mean, you could. I'm just gonna rock with it like this. Just don't hit the rubber gasket, because that would be bad. So we're just gonna go back and forth, pretty easy. I don't know how hard or how hot this needs to be, really. I'm just gonna keep heating it up, and then hopefully the screwdriver is enough to just pry it up. So let's do this for a couple of minutes, or like a minute or two, and then see if it pries up. All right, so I got it heated up pretty good. I just stuck this in here like this, real easy. You want to go from the front, not the sides. That way you don't like chip into your plastic like I just did. So go from the front. Ow, that's hot. Ow, 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 hot. Ta-da, it's out. It's really simple. Literally, there's like no residue left over in here at all. So all I'm gonna do is just take the alcohol pad that it comes with, one for each side, clean it all out. I might just try and get some of this dirt out of here, and then all you're gonna do is just follow the rest of the instructions here after heating it up. See, prep and clean area, remove any adhesive. Then you're just gonna remove the 3M on the back of the plate that it comes with, stick it back on. Ta-da, super easy. So here's also plastic razor blade that it comes with. They give you this to get the rest of the adhesive out. It's like there's really not any left in there. It's mainly just like dirt. So I'm gonna use the basically like a wet wipe to get all that out, and then we'll put the new one in. All right, now that the surface is nice and clean, you just use the little wet wipe that it comes with the kit. It's like this little thing here. So once you use the wet wipe to clean this out, see there's no more dirt. Look how much came off. Filthy, right? So if there's no adhesive left over, you use the wet wipe. If there is adhesive, you use the little red scraper. It comes with it. So now that that part is done, you're just gonna grab your little door sill. I think they're the same for both sides. Yeah, it doesn't really matter which side you put it on, because they all both go the same way, right? So what you're gonna do is on the back of this, there's some 3M tape. You're just gonna peel this off very gently and carefully. Just put it right into place, right? So I'm gonna do this off camera just because I'm gonna need 2 hands to put this down in place how I want it. But let me show you guys how it looks in 1 second. All right, I just pressed the piece into place, laid it down flat. Now all you're gonna do is just put some pressure on it with your fingers. Not too much, because you don't wanna like force it. You don't wanna bend it. But that's all you're gonna do is just press down on it. Make sure the adhesive grabs nicely. And it's really hot out today. The sun is beaming up there. So that'll actually help with the glue taking effect faster. And that's pretty much all you do, right? Super simple. Put it in there nicely. That's it. Now she's done. Looks pretty good too. It's super hard to see because it's bright as all hell today, but let me try and put some shade on it. See, Integra Type S. Looks a lot better than the like original RSX emblem that you can get there. They also sell Integra Type R door sill ones that you want. It just depends on what you're looking for, but Dc5 Designs, shout out to you. Thank you for giving me these. They look awesome. Can't wait to put the other one on the other side, and then maybe get another set for my red car. But let's jump into the steering wheel and get going on that. But first, disconnect the battery. Always disconnect the battery before you do anything with your airbag. So let's get into that. Hey guys, we're gonna get started on this steering wheel removal. I'm already like kind of in the position you want to be to get this off. So there's going to be Phillips head screws, one here, and I think there's supposed to be a third one here, but mine wasn't in there. So you undo the Phillips head screws, and then on the top you can pop this piece off. It just connects on the side with the pins here. So once you separate the top layer and take out the Phillips head screwdrivers, you can kind of just pull this down and out, and you got to get it to go around the key, and then it should just come right on out. Oh, and I believe I got to take this bottom panel off as well. That'll help, wouldn't it? Yeah, take that off. Then you can just slide this piece right on out. And then it just comes right on out. So make sure you take off this bottom piece too. So that'll give you access to the rest of the bolts here. You just take this top cover off, put that down here too. Now, with the battery disconnected, you're gonna wanna take off these little panels here on the sides. Let me see. There's one. And on the other side, there's gonna be another one right behind here. So I want to pop that out as well. And then there should be either, some cars have like a Torx bit or it'll be a bolt. My car is a bolt. And we're just gonna unbolt this here, and I'm pretty sure that's what holds the airbag in place. So let's just unbolt those two pieces. Don't forget to undo your clips here. Well, mine's not even plugged in, so that would explain to why my airbag light is on, because nothing in here is plugged in. Look, down here too, not plugged in. This isn't plugged in. I don't think my car even has a clock spring. There's supposed to be a clock spring here. That would explain why I have airbag lights on, because there's no clock spring in my car. Holy crap. That's lovely. So, something else I gotta fix while this is apart. So, let's just undo these bolts here, and hopefully the airbag can just come right out. All right, so luckily I actually happen to have a clock spring. I'm not sure why it's zip tied though. It came with the car when I bought it. Probably because it wasn't on here. Not sure why it's zip tied like that, but we do have a clock spring. I'm gonna try and put it on there and hopefully it works. I'm not sure why it's zip tied, but let's get this airbag off of here. Just those two bolts on the side. And then this should come right out. Let's give it a whirl, taking these bolts out. All right, well, I got the airbag out. There's supposed to be a horn assembly right here, or a horn button wiring. I don't know, something for the horn is supposed to be there. It's not there. That's why my horn doesn't work. That's lovely. Just another day figuring out why things don't work on this car. So now from this part here, you're just gonna undo this big 14. I'd recommend using an impact, something like this. This might be a little bit overkill, but should work all the same. I'm gonna put a little 14 on here. There we go. I'm just gonna stick this right in the center here. Ta-da, there goes the bolt. So now what you're gonna wanna do is just thread this back in, just like 2 or 3 turns. So that way you can pull, you gotta pull the steering wheel towards you, and that stops it from like coming and hitting you in the face. So put hands here and pull it towards you. Let me get it off. All right, so I got the steering wheel off and I put the clock spring back in. You kind of want to just make sure that this stays like centered for when you put your wheel back on. This is the original wheel I just pulled off. So for the Type R steering wheel, there is no slot for the cruise control. So if I want to keep cruise control, you got to just swap over this whole thing, and this top piece you got to swap over too. That's just like a holder for the wiring. For now, let's take this wheel inside take this wheel inside, and then we're gonna swap this to that wheel. As we're inside now, I got both the steering wheels side by side. We're gonna do a little comparison to show you the difference between them and what you have to swap over to run the airbag and the Type R Momo steering wheel on your USDM RSX. So the way these come, right, this is the Momo wheel, this is the OEM leather, right? So they're slightly different in the grooves here, but pretty much almost the same. I think the Momo wheel is a tiny bit smaller, but it might just be the same. So it's obviously it says Momo. This one's got red stitching. I might have that redone just because it's not in the best shape. But for now, we're just going to leave it how it is. I mean, if I want to take it off at a later date, I always could and just have somebody restitch this because it's not, obviously it's not new. And then in here, so the difference you can see right here between the two. Let me put this bag over here. This one and this one have different clipping points, right? You see? This gray piece is black on this wheel. Other than that, they're almost the same. This little white piece on the side is different. So I don't know if we need to swap that over. This top piece, we're going to swap from this wheel to this one. That is what holds the wiring for the cruise control. Now, I don't have it, right? See, there's a plug for it. There's supposed to be a wire that comes around and plugs into here, and then the other plug goes to your clock spring. So I don't have any of that stuff. So what we're going to do is just swap this over for now, and then I'll have to source somewhere else the wiring for this. It's not like super hard, you know. And then this piece that's cut here, that's the air, that's for the horn, right? This one obviously didn't even have it. That's why my horn never worked. So what we're going to do now is this is the airbag from the OEM, right? The non-Type R. See how it has the whole airbag piece and this one doesn't? These are security lock screws here. So what you're going to do is put like a vice grip like this, or figure out a way to pry these off. You got to spin them off. So I'm going to try and put a vice grip on it and rotate it and get them off. And then you're just going to take this airbag, put it in the Type R one. And then I'm either going to reuse these or try and find nuts that aren't security locked. I might just run to the parts store quick and grab 4 that are the same thread. So let's take this off, put this airbag into there, and then swap this piece over with these 2 Phillips heads. And then I'm going to work on swapping this as well. Because I still have to source this piece, but I want to run cruise control on this car just because I do plan on putting like a good amount of miles on it, and it is my daily. So if I ever take it on like a road trip pretty far, I'd like to have the cruise control. So I'm going to work on getting that swapped, and then maybe go get some hardware, and I'll show you guys how it looks once everything is swapped over. All right, guys, getting these security bolts off. I took my hat off. I'm freaking sweating to death. It's hot as all hell here today. And these security nuts are no joke trying to get these things off. So I got 3 out of 4 off. I'm on the last one right now. As you can see here, it's finally coming off. But I'll show you the best way that I found to get them started, because getting them started is the hardest part. Then once they're going, you can just spin them off with the, what the hell are these called? Vice grips. Spin them off with the vice grip. All right, now that these are all off, literally what I did, you just got to take the vice grip and start at an angle, kind of like this. Because if you go up and down and try and rotate them, it's just going to grind up the nut. So what you're going to want to do is, say the nut is still on here, right? You just put it on like an angle and then twist to the left so you can get it loosened up. Because if you try and tighten it on there and spin it, it's just going to chew up the nut. I tried it a million times. That's why these are literally like, look at it. Because there's no like socket that's made to go on there. It's a security nut. So now that that is finally off, I'm just going to plop this out of here. Ta-da, very careful like. And then what you're going to do is, don't need that anymore. You're just going to drop this right into the Type R one right here. So it just plops right into place. And then you're just gonna go to the store, and I'm just gonna bring this with me, and we're gonna find a nut that threads onto that so I can not use these again because they're pretty toasted. So I'll bring this with me, bring this, go to the hardware store, get 4 new ones of these, because we're definitely not reusing those. They're pretty much toasted. So now that that's out, this is swapped over. Just gonna put new hardware on here and then put it all back together, and we should be good to go. Hey guys, we're back inside the house. Just ran to the parts store quick to grab the nuts that we needed for this airbag. So I grabbed 8 of them here just because, you know, I wanted to have a few extras. I'm gonna put the size in the description so that way you guys can go to the store and get your own, because the old ones you can't really reuse. So these should work just fine. They're the same exact thread. I think it was like 5 by 0.8 or something. I don't know. I gotta put it in the description. I took a picture of it, but these just go right on here. Replace the old ones. And then I believe they are like a 7 or an 8 mil. So I gotta go grab that from the toolbox. But for now, we're just gonna stick a couple of them on there, get them started, right? And it makes it a lot easier, so you're not going back and trying to reuse these old ones that are completely destroyed. So those just go on there like so. I'm going to tighten all these up, take this broken horn sensor off of here. Then we should be able to go put this back in the car. But I was checking this thing out, and I really do want to run the cruise control, and I was looking at this piece a little bit, and I was thinking to myself, you know, there should be a way to just swap this whole back piece off the wheel in order to get the cruise control cutout on the side. And this back piece comes out. So you would have to take this Torx out, this Torx out, this one, these 2 screws, and then behind it, I don't know if you guys can see, but let me flip this around. See right here? There's a Phillips head there, and there's another one on the back of here somewhere, probably on the other side, yeah. But you just take this whole thing off and then unscrew it, and this whole back piece can come off. So you could still run the Momo wheel. You would just have to take this whole entire back piece off where the writing is on, where it says DC5. You just take this whole piece off and swap it with the one that has the cutout. Anyways, I probably didn't even need to disconnect it from that wheel, but you know, I already did, so it is what it is. So I'm not going to swap all that today just because I don't have the wire for the cruise control. So we're just going to leave this how it is, and then at a later date, probably when I go to get the stitching redone on this wheel, I'll swap the whole internal piece out and put the back piece for the cruise control on. Guys, I ended up just swapping the cruise control thing over. Somebody local on Facebook says they have one. I'm going to try and pick it up tomorrow. I just need the wire. I don't know why it's not in here, but that's kind of how it's been with this car since I bought it. There's just like random things that are missing for no reason, like that shouldn't be missing, you know. So in order to swap the this whole back piece over to have the cutout for the cruise control, you just take out 1, 2, 3, right? This will come off, then you take off 1, 2, and there's 2 more of these screws underneath, and then it literally just pops right off. It's super easy, and then you can just unscrew this from the other side. Takes literally like just a couple of minutes, you know, just swapping this piece around. And then here's the one from the Type R wheel without the cutout here. You can see it's got the indent, but I didn't cut it out. So I'm gonna hold on to this just because, you know. So this is for this wheel. I'm just gonna put the old one over there. That's how it looks with everything apart. Right, no back piece on it, nothing. So I'm just gonna put this one back on here now for like safekeeping, you know, just so it doesn't get lost. It's really not super hard, you know. It's just a couple of screws, and then it literally just clamps right back on, and then you put this piece back on there, throw an airbag in it, call it a day. But let's button this up and put it back in the car. All right, guys, we officially got the wheel installed. She looks great in this car. I'm so happy with it. This thing was not too bad to do. Anybody can pretty much do it with simple tools. You know, Phillips head, little Torx bit, 10 mil, you know, 14 for the big one behind there, little pry tool. But here she is installed. I ended up swapping this over, like I said. So this is going to be functional with this. For some reason, the horn still doesn't work. So I think I have a faulty horn up front, or the relay could have went bad, but I have everything hooked up in here correctly. My SRS light is no longer on the car, and I cleared it. It's gone because I had an SRS for the airbag. Now that's completely gone, which is awesome. So really happy with the install. It looks great in this car, matched with the door sills. I'm going to be converting the front and rear badges to the Honda badges as well. And as you can see here, everything works as it's supposed to. No issues with the car. I can turn it on real quick to show you guys. See, no SRS light. The only light I have is ABS, and I'm going to be getting rid of that soon. It's for a brakes, or the wheel speed sensor, but other than that, she's purring. Super happy with the install on this thing. I hope you guys learned something, especially with swapping the cruise control. If that's something that you're interested in doing, it's not really all that hard to do. That's just like personal preference if you guys like it or not. I mean, if I daily a car, I'd like to have cruise control. Aesthetically, it's probably not the best look. You know, it probably looks better without the cruise control, but overall, definitely a nice have for the car, you know, especially if you drive it a lot. Yeah, the really good install today. I hope you guys enjoyed it, with some cool products that we got from Dc5 Designz for the door sills, and then my boy hooking me up, finding me this Type R wheel in really good shape. So if you guys learned anything, please comment below. If you have any questions, I'm going to put a link in the bio with the size bolts that you need to replace the safety nuts that are on the airbag that you swap. And I'll also put a link to the door sill plates that you guys can get as well. And that's pretty much going to wrap it up for today's video. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace. Yo,